Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Monkey Island 2. Let's continue. So we're doing our second spit puzzle. We have to use this with this. And there's really...
Boy, this stuff makes my spit thick.
Anything special to do here, so...
Hey, watch it with a spit.
What's funny is this gives you 5 spit things. But if we changed it, it changes each of your things to 9 things, so you can spit loogie, lock, gob, squirt, hawk. And that's just not translated, really. Well, I guess it kinda is, but it's not translated with 9 different things. So they didn't even bother to remaster every option. That seems kind of ridiculous.
What be going on?
It probably
here?
means that this
Largo,
engine that they were
relight
doing
the candle.
Can only have 5 options in
Guybrush
the
has
new game.
Find them.
And if that's true, then why
I bet LeChuck is really cheesed
why
off
use
now.
the 5 options
Yep.
as
Hey,
angles
Wally?
in
Yeah?
the
Where are
upper
we?
half
Good
of your
question.
control stick instead of it being closer to a 360 control? No developer commentary in the dark. Use a match.
Holy skunk sweat! Ouch!
See what this looks like in the old animation. Because this is a fast scene that we never really saw. So saving Wally and having the map, none of that really did anything to help. In fact, we just stupidly bumbled our way to Dinky Island.
Hours later.
And with a little bit of help, we could be done with this game.
Why did we make this game so long?
It was like an insecurity. I think obviously we were insecure, and we wanted to make it bigger. We had like a size issue.
Yes, that
We had
seems
short
very
game
true.
syndrome from
Yeah.
the first one.
No one ever complained about the first game. Like nowadays, no matter what you do, people say your game's short. Back then, no one complained about it. Did they complain about Monkey being short?
I don't know, no, it didn't.
It wasn't too short. It was fine.
No,
No, nobody complained about it.
Complain about Monkey being
I just
long.
think we over designed it. And then we also cut a lot out of this game.
Yeah.
It seems like they definitely.
Why did we make this?
Like, there were elements here that could have easily been used in the next game.
Gee,
Like
Captain
Monkey
Marley,
3.
where should we bury the treasure? Gee, Captain Marley, where should we bury the treasure? Oh, the heck with it. Let's make a map and tear it into 4 pieces. Polly wants a cracker. No, that's not right.
That seems to have gotten most of the salt out of it.
Okay, let's go over it again so no one forgets where we buried the treasure.
Hey, there's a cracker in here.
No,
See,
that's not right.
Here we have
Polly wants a
Herman
cracker.
Toothrot, and there's no
Why did we
development
make this?
commentary here. No real reason even to
that's not
interact
right.
with him. And no real reason to go this way. We can go ahead and break this. And the animation doesn't even show. Interesting. Now, I'm gonna kind of try and walk everywhere before we find the solution. Yeah, I'm getting the feeling on the new version that when you come over to something, there's only 6 options. It's the top half, angles the compass these ways, and then cancel is downward. Like anything downward. Even a slight few degrees downward jumps. So this is all the way to left. or this is all the way to right. And then as soon as you start to spin even a little bit to lower right or lower left, it goes to cancel. Which then squeezes this option right next to this option, and that's why you see that juddering back and forth, and this option to this option. What would be interesting to see is if I just pull out a mouse and right click.
There's something lumpy in it.
Like, it's a little bit better because you have to then rotate your mouse or come straight down. There's definitely some precision using a mouse. So in a lot of ways, I would say this game doesn't quite have full controller support. Mostly because it doesn't bring up the game prompts when you move an item over something. Instead, it shows you mouse prompts. And it doesn't have a help to tell you which items what am I trying to say here? In the help, it doesn't tell you what buttons do what. So, for instance, the developer commentary, I didn't think you could use a controller.
It's
I had
tied
to just
shut with rope.
play the game and try every button to see if one of them would work.
It's nailed shut.
We'll go ahead and crowbar this.
Hey, dynamite, just like it says on the side.
And grab this. And there's nothing to look at here. And let's see. Like, no commentary here. Let's use this.
I used to sit next to Tabby Toasty. Tabitha Toasty, who ran the hint line, was right outside my office, and I would listen to her give hints all day long. And it was like, you take this and take the map and you go back here, because she would just tell it. She wouldn't like give hints like, well, what do you think it is? She would just lay it out. Walk over here and do this.
People were paying money.
And so why didn't they use her
Yeah,
name?
I guess so. But she'd always answer the phone the same way. LucasArts hint line, can I help you?
Well, my favorite was when they would call for hints, and they would get the hint to do what to do, and then they would say, and then what happens?
And you'll find out.
We'll go try this.
Do they still have hint lines?
Probably not with live
I think the
people.
internet destroyed
hint lines. You can't call on
this, but for one brief glorious moment of history, that was like the biggest money maker for the entire company. I think was the hint line.
Sadly, that kind of goes to show.
Thank you. You've been very helpful. Goodbye.
Yeah, sure. It tells you, like, why so many of these point-and-click adventures of the old days
Why did we make this?
Were so complicated. It's simply because they were making more money on
Captain Marley, where should we bury the
making
treasure?
complicated games than they were actually
let's go over it again, so no one
selling the
forgets where
game
we buried the
themselves
treasure.
through the 900 number temp lines, $2.99 a minute,
And
or
due east
whatever it
from the
costs.
pond to the dinosaur. Polly wants a cracker. I want my
Now,
granddaughter
twice
to
we've
marry
done
a
this
real
puzzle,
man,
and it's
a
always
captain.
been the same thing.
Head north from the dinosaur to the pile of rocks.
Yep, it seems like it's the
Okay,
same
let's go over
each
it again,
time.
so no one forgets where we buried the treasure. Head due east from the rocks to the eggs. Ah! I want my granddaughter to marry a real man, a captain.
Now, part of the ending here is the idea that if Guybrush had been able to find the ticket to Big Whoop without LeChuck, he would have been able to potentially escape to a different reality, and LeChuck wouldn't have been able to follow him. I guess that's the idea. It's not particularly a great solution to the story. It doesn't wrap up his interactions or his relationships with, like, Governor Marley at all. Let's see, no developer commentary here. And we only have a couple of more things. 602 pieces of 8. So, if there was any different ending, I would think by having extra gold,
cement.
it wouldn't make sense that I would not have enough for that.
That's the last match.
Like,
Great Scott! That came from the direction of Dinky Island. That idiot must be messing with my grandfather's treasure. Ugh, I'd better get over there.
so the fact that there's cement as an item that exists in this world
There,
is
I
odd.
think that'll hold.
It almost makes it seem like this world is not what it seems, because steel bar reinforced cement and pirates doesn't mix. Underground tunnels don't mix. It is kind of like that TV series Westworld, potentially. Maybe all the characters and actors in this story are just robots or something.
And you showed up about 3 days later.
That would be a
now?
weird
Anything
connection.
to shut you up. That has to have been the longest story I ever heard.
And clearly they just didn't think about things. So there was cement on top. He falls through another
dear.
cement ceiling. And into the tunnels, and the tunnels connect you to all the different worlds. And we're on Dinky Island, but somehow we're going to take an envelope and we're going to take an elevator and end up on Melee Island. Now, arguably, he's suffering from a hit on the head, not only from hitting the rock when he landed on Dinky Island, but from hitting his head when he broke the ore. So he could just be hallucinating all of this. Smashed up treasure chest.
What do I want with a bunch of bits of broken treasure chest?
Let's see, there's... I can't get the ticket, so I have to hit the light switch.
I can't see a thing.
Boo!
How did
Hello,
LeChuck get here,
Guybrush.
by the way?
Do you remember these rooms? It was just one background, and we turn on and off
Is
the
it
doors.
generic room technology from
Pseudo
Indy
rooms.
4?
Yeah, I think we had a patent on that.
Pseudo rooms?
You can see it there when it flashes like that. You can
Yeah,
see
see, that's when it was weird when you cut from one to the other, because certain things would not change and other things would change.
Because there's originally, like in Indy 4, when you go through the castle, you go into a room, then you go into a hallway, then you go into another room, you don't see it.
Right.
That was such a great game. Oh, it was
Indy 4?
83. 83.
Last Crusade.
Yeah, Last Crusade. That's
Yeah.
when you go in the cat and the.
Yeah, I don't know what Indy 4 game they're talking about.
The Last
Nobody's
Crusade
made
was when we first
the
started doing
Crystal
the little
Skull
dialogue.
video
That was,
game.
yeah,
for
you mentioned the
goodness.
dialogue puzzles.
Yeah, and then I think in Monkey 1,
Maybe
I think
Fate of
it was
Atlantis
almost
is
like
considered
the whole
Indy
concept
4
was
by
proved
him.
out in a way, and then I think we went nuts on Monkey 2 with the dialogues. You remember these?
So we'll see how much.
Goodbye, LeChuck.
You won't escape me this time.
Let's see.
You're right. I give up.
That's just as well. Even if you were to escape, I would always be able to find you again. We are bound to one another.
Like life and limb?
How appropriate. But I meant more like, brothers.
Huh?
I am your brother.
So he starts
No.
putting the spell on
That's
him
not true.
like right
That's
now.
impossible.
Search your feelings.
It's
You
like a
know it to
Jedi
be
mind
true.
trick.
No.
I can't skip any of this.
And I brought a little surprise for you.
Am I going to enjoy this?
No, but I will.
Now, where did he get the things for this?
Is this going to be anything like Pin the Tail on the Donkey?
Something like that. This is a voodoo doll.
Like, I
that
said
I'll
it
be
before,
using
but this
to
game
torture you.
desperately
And then
needed me
send you
to,
screaming
at some
to another
point,
dimension, one
shave
of
my
infinite
head.
pain.
And then
Observe.
he should have collected. We should have seen Lagrange collect my dress, or LeChuck collect the dress. That would have been through the thread. Somebody should have collected the bones of my parents, and somebody should have collected the spit from the spitting contest.
Mama.
But it just doesn't happen.
That was exhilarating. Let's have some more fun, shall we?
Can't skip
Please,
into this.
no more.
Okay, time to send you screaming to a dimension of infinite pain. At last, I'm rid of that pesky little wimp Guybrush.
Hey, I'm alive.
Hey!
I thought I was a goner. Oops.
Now, arguably, people would say that this voodoo
Strange. There must be
spell
something wrong with my
might be
voodoo
the
doll.
thing that sends him to the different universe
It
too.
was supposed to send you to
There's
another
multiple
dimension, not the next
translations,
room.
but it doesn't
Shoddy
make any
materials,
sense.
I'll bet.
Like,
Well,
why
I
would
guess I'll just
it
try
be
it
the
again.
voodoo doll that sent him to the
no,
different reality
that's okay.
instead of the spell, which he said starts earlier by saying he's his brother? Like, and so we need to go ahead and push this.
That won't do much.
Push the coin return. So
Hey, Guybrush, it's voodoo time.
Alright, let's go ahead and
You remember these rooms? It was just one background, and we'd turn on and off the
it
doors.
generic room technology from Indy 4?
Hold on.
And so you couldn't listen to the audio commentary. I'm just realizing this now is you can't actually listen to the audio commentary because the truth is,
Well, there's stuff in it. It's a pair of surgical gloves. There's a syringe in here.
Hey, Guybrush,
Let's
it's
give him the
voodoo
points.
time.
here we go.
Here, try this.
So we'll have to get back in here one time. See, I would like to see a developer commentary
Now, isn't that better?
for this room, but
let's discuss this.
I'm never
like,
gonna
right
have
on the
time to do it.
You remember these rooms?
Let's see. Open.
go. I don't want a whole box.
Open. Pick up. What did I just get?
Hey, there's only one balloon in here.
Pick up. It seems like the items.
One bottle of root beer should be sufficient. I'll just take one.
And so we've got all the voodoo dolls
What? All of them?
and everything.
You remember these?
And it's the same commentary each time. Pick up the remains.
Holy cow, these are my parents!
Pick up the remains.
This looks loose.
Alright, now put this in there.
Well, that's one ingredient.
And put this in
That's
there.
2 ingredients.
And put that
That's
in
2
there.
ingredients in the doll.
And
Aha! Gotcha!
see, it feels so much like you should be able to just walk.
Are you sure you want to do this?
You should just be able to continue to run. And it doesn't work that way. I'll go pick up this ticket. look at it?
It says E on it.
Oh, we still need something from the thread, so as we're trying to use the balloon and these gloves with the helium, we also need to... Let's pick up the coin too. That way we have one of those coins. And so where does that put us here? Is several pieces of 8 and a dime, and the dime is like
a Susan
what
B.
you did
Anthony.
explain
What a find!
is a Susan B. Anthony dime?
Now you're gonna get it.
Let bygones be bygones.
So we still need a piece of his beard.
Hey, Guybrush, it's voodoo time.
Let bygones be bygones.
And see, that's not going to have us in the elevator.
Hey, Guybrush,
Same commentary
voodoo
again.
time.
I know you're upset. I know you're upset.
See, I feel like the game should also slow him down or make him tired after a while, just to save some effort.
Now
And this
you're gonna get
triggers
it.
immediately.
Hey! Ow! Ow! Ow!
No director's commentary here. Open this door. Let's go out here.
This is hauntingly familiar.
And so it makes literally no sense that this would be Melee Island unless there's just a system of passages that connect all of the islands.
That's 3 ingredients and the doll.
Under the, or there's some kind of magic. And again, the juju bag does not look like the
Okay, brother.
Juju
Watch out,
bag.
because I've got my own doll now. Ooh, a circus. I love a circus. That doesn't seem to work.
and you can't use the ticket. And perhaps, here's an interesting thought. Perhaps you could trap yourself if you use the helium balloon here and then weren't light enough to use the elevator. I don't care enough to try it, but it's an interesting consideration.
You remember these rooms?
Aha! Gotcha!
Let bygones be bygones.
So one more.
Hey, Guybrush, it's voodoo time! Ow! That's pretty good, Guybrush, but not good enough to stop me!
And so now we chase after him and try to find him.
Hey? Oh, it's you! What?
And he
that
automatically
again?
stabs
Oh,
the
Look at me
thing.
quaking in me booties!
It's
I
not an
laugh
option.
at you and your puny voodoo tinkerings. Aha! Come on. I'm gonna kick your butt. What do you think about that?
Take that, LeChuck.
You always were a wimp. I'm not afraid of your doll. Come on.
So it's,
You don't
have
scare
to.
me.
The only choices really are pull the leg
Stab
off.
the
of
doll
it.
again.
I wonder what would happen if I tore the leg off this thing.
And this time it's flipped the other way again. So we've seen it twice one way and once the other. This dog appears, which is the dog from the jail
Guybrush.
cell on
What?
Come over
Fat
here.
Island.
No way. I'm not that
Which
stupid.
makes no sense.
But I want you to take my mask off. Ugh.
So the spell
See the
I
true
assume
face of your brother.
is almost done. I've gone through all of these, so we'll just skip over all this.
All right. I'm coming over.
And in getting closer, I assume that's
Gently
the
now.
last bit of the spell
Remove my
to
mask.
needed to do. Still doesn't make any sense though. He's
My God,
black-haired
you're
here.
My creepy brother Chucky.
What?
Like-
Did you think I was kidding before?
Why did they make him red-haired here?
How come you hate me as much as you obviously do?
Well, you remember the time you broke my Junior Ultra Soldier Commando
That was
assault
the
vehicle?
toy mentioned in the library.
Why have you been chasing me all over the place?
Our mother told me to hunt you down.
Get out of town.
Look, Guybrush, could you help me out? Stick the leg back on the doll, okay?
Will you promise to stop locking me in your footlocker?
All right,
And
I
it doesn't seem
promise.
like any more developer
Anything. Just put
commentary,
my
unless
leg
maybe
back
they'll
on.
talk over the credits.
Hey, you kids! You're not supposed to be in here.
And so you don't even put his leg back on.
So there you are.
This is where it all comes together and is explained fully.
No.
I think people might not understand this ending because you have to know a lot about numerology and science. And there's a lot of physics
food
references.
processing.
The Fibonacci sequence is incredibly important to this. All the clues.
We went back and forth a lot, or around and around, I guess, a lot about the ending. Like, you had it in your head and was like, I don't know, should we really do this? And we were trying to think of something different that was going to be better. And I think I may have
remember that.
actually convinced you to do the ending that we did at dinner one night. I was like, no, we should just do it. It'll be great. It'll be kind of,
I don't know.
kind of
I
ambiguous and
remember,
70s
I remember
like.
we
And
went around and around.
I kind of
and
remember it
around
more
and
as
the
an
whole
iterative thing that we like did. We did one part and then we're like, let's add one more twist on the end of it. And let's add, you know what? And then let's add another one at the end to make it like the first one didn't count. And let's add one more, and it kept getting, and it was hilarious.
Well, I think if this ending gets mentioned all the time on top 10 best endings of computer games, is the ending to Monkey Island 2.
And it
I thought they
also
complained
gets
about
mentioned
it.
on
Wait,
the
hold on.
top 10 worst endings. It's like a very
see,
controversial ending.
but
People
isn't
either
that
love
perfect,
it or they
though?
hate it. In some ways, yeah.
I'd almost
that's what
rather
you want.
make
You want people to
something that
talk about
half
it.
the people loved and half the people hated than a bunch of people
something
felt
everybody was just
mediocre
kinda like,
about. Yeah,
Trolls
yeah.
before the internet had trolls, basically.
This is where it,
Who are you people?
Just the
this is where it,
family you've always had. Thank you for hunting down your brother like we asked, Chucky dear.
You boys didn't get in any trouble now, did you?
You know, I'm noticing there's an odd amount of tanning for all of the other kids, besides Child, our main character that we're playing as. I forgot his name. Guybrush. Like, just look at how it's more balanced in the same shades of brown with the old color palette, obviously. And now he's several shades less tan than anybody else.
No, sir.
Good.
I wish you wouldn't run off like that, young man.
And so,
You were worried
even in the
sick.
developer
You
commentary,
don't
then
know what
they have
kinds
no
of murderers
intention
and
to
ne'er-do-wells might be
explain any
hanging
of
around a
this or
place like
or do
this.
anything. You'd think after all the years,
Yes, Mom.
Well, come on then.
like,
Let's go ride the badly
considering
rotating Buccaneer.
that
Yeah.
they really didn't have as much of a hand as they would have wanted. Big Whoop Amusement Park is the realization. And see, I hit the button and shouldn't have done that, and now I can't get back. I can't get back to the new credits because I've accidentally locked ourselves into the old credits, which is probably not a terrible thought. Although even these credits have been modified because they wouldn't be mentioning the special edition, would they? And the audio doesn't sound as good in the old version, but I would have thought that wouldn't have changed. That is a point I guess I didn't even consider, is that why did the audio seem to sound great in the special edition and then not sound any worse in the original edition? Is the original audio not in this game for Monkey Island 2, or did I just not play enough in the original version to recognize it? So you may also take note that this looks similar to Booty Island. It's got elements of the layout of Booty Island, except for it has a weenie hut, which there was a weenie hut on Scab Island. So it's like everything in the game has been combined and redrawn as some kind of fantastical thing. And we've seen this in some movies, like the Never-Ending Story, you could potentially argue is all happening in the head of the main character. There's more explicit kids movies, kids action movies and fantasy movies like that, where it's all clearly happening in the imagination of the main character. And that twist on itself isn't terrible. It's just the problem is how you engage your audience. And for a video game, I was completely engaged. Like, I was controlling Guybrush Threepwood throughout the entire game. So for you to give me an ending that says all of my actions and all of my struggle and the potential 10 hours I spent playing this game doesn't matter because it was all a dream, that just doesn't work. Or it was all fantasy, or it was all not real. That just doesn't work very well. Interestingly enough, here the music has stopped playing, and we don't see in the old version a image of Kate saying, "I hope he hasn't been had a spell put on him." So that might have been added in the special edition to better connect it to Curse of Monkey Island and Escape from Monkey Island. We shall see. Now, for this third run of the game, I really could have skipped it. It mostly was a waste of time, and the developer commentary didn't say anything. Nope, here she is.
I wonder what's keeping Guybrush. Oh, I hope LeChuck hasn't cast some horrible spell over him or anything.
And so even at that, it's not a satisfactory ending because you're left with the main character losing, and that's not something I would want in any game. Is like, I can see the heroic noble sacrifice and the main character dying, but in some way they need to succeed. Here, Guybrush doesn't succeed. Now, he didn't do anything really to succeed. He bumbled his way throughout the whole game, but still, he is the lovable idiot, and we want to see the lovable idiot succeed, and it just doesn't happen. Honestly, as a layman, as a critic, it's a terrible ending. It's really, really bad. It's a troll's ending. Somebody who would troll somebody on the internet would love this ending. And it would be fine if there was a alternate troll ending, but the main players, the earnest, honest players that want to see Guybrush succeed and be happy and end up with Governor Marley, at least for a while, those people are getting shortchanged. Definitely. And I would say for the short changings, there's definitely some things in this remastered edition, considering they practically had all the time in the world to... Did I accidentally... yeah. They had all the time in the world to make this remastered version. There was really no timer or anniversary. Maybe there was an anniversary, but they could have missed it. And they dropped the ball on simple things like the mouse disappearing when I'm pressing a controller. The how to play only pointing at mouse interfaces, the controls only pointing at mouse interfaces. Clearly this game was sold for consoles, and the console versions of the Minion got something better than what we had. I would heavily recommend everybody have the developer commentary on by default. And this menu where you have to click the tabs or use the right and left triggers to go from game settings to audio settings to video settings is poorly laid out. Separate credits. Like the credits that we just saw are different than the classic credits, and the special edition credits are different somewhat from what we just saw too. So there's no less than 3 different credits here. The bonus features are lacking severely. The developer commentary, might as well leave it on and listen to it the first time you play when you're going through that 10-hour gameplay, and then maybe a second speed run if you want the achievements. But literally not a single one of those comments were interesting to me at all. This art is better suited if I could just download it. If it just said, look, all this art is also available in this folder on your computer if you want to see it, because this viewer misses things like, can I zoom in on something? Can I see it in an uncompressed format? And all of this art is practically just everything that I suspect was ever even made from the game and kept. This area still not in the game. That's a disappointment. I imagine there was a ton of stuff edited out of this game, left on the cutting room floor. The achievements don't really add a ton. They did get me to play the game twice, so I applaud the achievements, but not as good as Monkey Island 1. It's alright, but then it has that disappointing ending. I'd say the first half of the game would have been fine. If the game had just kind of wrapped up after the first half and not done the Act 3 or 4, then that would have been fine. That would have worked for me. That's it for this series. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, click that notification bell so you get notifications. Comment and watch every second of my videos, because all of that helps out my channel, tells YouTube that my videos are worth watching. If you want to friend or follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam or Battle.net, whatever you're on, all of those links are down below in the description box, so please follow me on those services. That gives you a nice backup to know when my videos are available, and it helps me gain some popularity on those services. Thank you for going through this, thank you for putting in the time, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.